Hi and welcome to Armchair Pundits. This week we will be discussing the NBA Finals where the San Antonio turn up the heat on the Miami Heat. You see the pun there?
Yeah, that's it.
Basically what happened, for those that didn't watch the game, the aircon went out, which meant it was hotter in the in the arena than it was outside the arena. LeBron James ended up cramping up, which he's known for doing, but obviously this was even more serious to the effect that he ended up having to leave the game. And San Antonio probably could have won it anyway, but when he went off, the game heavily swung in their favour. They won game one. And then second segment, we'll be discussing the French Open Finals, women's final, where Sharapova defeated Halep, and Nadal triumphs over Djokovic to make it 9 in 10 attempts. So, losing one match at Roland Garros, which is extremely impressive, which will mull over. So, NBA, Leon and Yao, we have today.
Hello. What's up, guys?
So, Leon, what did you think of the debacle, I will call it, of the conference, not even conference, the NBA final?
Well, when you're in sport, you have to deal with all sorts of conditions. It wasn't ideal for anyone to be playing in that kind of heat, nor for the fans who spent most of the evening fanning themselves to keep cool. As long as it wasn't deliberate in any way,
well,
then
Popovich said that he saw the guys that came to fix it and sent them home.
So you know Greg Popovich, he's that kind of guy that will say stuff like that to kind of play a little bit of mind games, and he likes to play jokes on people. So him saying that is one thing, but obviously, as I said before, you have to deal with all kinds of conditions, and unfortunately for everyone, it was super hot in there, and San Antonio took advantage. LeBron cramping up. LeBron is not going to come out of the game unless he can't play. He's not the choker that everyone calls him. He's got over that. He's now a champion twice over. So for people to be questioning, he's cramping, blah, blah, blah. Anyone that knows how to play sports has had cramp knows how almost impossible it is for you to do anything with any sort of explosiveness, any movement with any kind of explosiveness without feeling extreme pain. So for me, it's just one of those things. It's something that he's been dealing with for a while, and he's had to do a lot of take on a lot of water. He had to go on a drip after the game apparently. So this final is gonna go to the right to the wire for me. Miami were in it right up to the fourth quarter. They were leading in the fourth quarter.
He missed the final 5 minutes, and I think in that time, I think it was a 31-17 run.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
San Antonio's favour.
So you saw the difference that he has on what he brings to that team, and without him, they're nowhere near as strong, and he knows that. So as I said, if he can stay cramp free, injury free, then I think it will go down to the wire. But you can't call it. It was a great game for San Antonio. Everyone stepped up to play as usual. Their bench was key again. The minutes that they used, so many people are given kind of equal minutes. So we'll see. Home court advantage for them. So
For me personally, I think you know what, a lot of people would like to throw the conspiracy theory of being, deliberately turning off the aircon. Look, no one trains in that kind of blistering heat. No one. Okay, if you do, you're a madman. So as far as I'm concerned, I think it affected both teams, but one team was able to use it to their advantage. With LeBron going out, obviously that changed the aspects of the game. I actually watched the whole game live, and I think the last quarter was 30-5. I think that's how big the run was. It was a very big run. It looked like Miami couldn't even make a bucket. They were throwing bricks for fun. But San Antonio got game one out of the way, home court advantage. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest with you, because it could have been worse. You come out of the whole game court advantage with what? 1 win, 1 loss, if possible. If you look at it, because it is Miami in the final. And then you go to Miami, you probably, split games there. This could go 7. Judging just off game 1, it could possibly go 7. I hope it's done in 6, to be honest with you. But I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 7.
Well, it's good because they changed the format now. So now they're in a format of 2-2, 1-1-1.
Yeah.
Whereas the previous form was the league winning team who got the most wins started the first 2, then the second had 3, and then the last one were 2. but by that time, it could be really over
you could be
because
done.
if you win one of the first two, you got 3 at home.
Yeah, that's it.
It's over. So it is probably a better way to do it now.
I think it is. I think it is a better format. It gives. I think it gives a much more even kind of evens out a little bit because it's the second best 2 teams in the league.
Yeah.
So
instead of that, when they first changed the format, you couldn't really travel long distance.
Yeah.
Because transport wasn't the same as it is now. But now you get on a charge.
they fly on jets all the time.
and you're there in no time. So it is good how they've done it. But I'm looking forward to game 2. I'm looking forward to seeing how Miami respond because they generally do respond. If they lose it, you never really see them lose 2 in a row. And when they did, that's because there was the end of the regular season, which no one really cares about, and they're just getting ready. But a whole lot of them played well. Bosch had a decent game. Wade had a decent game. I know Chalmers was in foul trouble, and generally if Chalmers plays well, then Miami does well. They usually win. So I'm looking for me as a Heat follower. I'm looking for Chalmers to start well, Bosch to start well. If those 2 start the game off well, then it looks good for Miami.
I agree.
But obviously, I know you.
I want San Antonio to win. I'm not going to deny that.
Well, how do they win? So they're on home court. Generally, in these playoffs, home court advantage has counted. What do they need to do to win this game?
You know what?
Leave the aircon off.
Yeah, they have to leave the
They
aircon
can't do
off.
it again. They'll be finished.
Nah, you know what? In all honesty, it comes down to 3 players. It comes down to Ginobili. It comes down to Parker. I would normally say Duncan, but not necessarily. Duncan's an old man. He doesn't necessarily have to put up the numbers he was putting up a couple years or a couple seasons ago. A good 10-point, maybe even 12-point game is enough, for Tim Duncan to have some sort of impact on the game. But for me, it would be Ginobili, it would be Parker, and I'd say, you know what, it comes down to the 3-pointers. And you take your pick, really.
Both teams can hit.
Yeah, I mean, it really this whole playoff run comes down to the 3-pointers. If your long rangers can be draining from early in the game, like Kawhi, Green, if those guys can be knocking buckets down from early, then it could be a good look for San Antonio. And I think that's what they're going to need to do in order to stretch out the game.
Because Green does not shoot well away from home.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like chalk and cheese. At home, he will sink bucket after bucket, and this obviously is at home. So for them, he needs to come out early because he didn't have a great game.
No, he didn't.
Game 1.
He didn't. But if Kawhi and Green can put in a decent shift, I'm more looking towards Kawhi because defensively he can hold it up. But if the 2 of them can put in a decent shift, then it can really put the tide, should I say, in San Antonio's favor. Most definitely.
Your last word, Leon?
For Heat to win, they've got to, as you said about San Antonio, they've got to get their long range game on. They've got so many talented 3-point shooters. Consistently, they've been shooting in I think 40% in the playoffs from deep. So if they can get that game up, and they have to be able to defend Tim Duncan better. Yeah. He has been so good in these playoffs. Like all season long, he's been good, but these playoffs he stepped up again his level, and he seems to be just so consistent across the board. They have to be able to stop him, I think, as much as they need to stop 3-pointers. Miami have always been good perimeter defenders, but inside has always been the Achilles heel. If they come up against a really, really good center, which Tim Duncan is, they've always had problems. So
and it's the free throws. If you stop Miami from taking free throws, you stopped a lot of their game.
Yeah, sure.
Because they need to get to the free throw line. When they don't, Wade and LeBron, their points drop dramatically, as it would do for most players. But they need to be more. For me, they need to be more forceful. Take it to the rim, take it inside into the paint, and just try and go to work. Okay, so moving on to what we saw yesterday, Saturday. I called it.
You did.
I called Sharapova.
You got it.
You got this one.
To win. Yao says it was an unconvincing call, but a call is a call.
A call is a call. You can't deny it. I can't be upset.
Sharapova won it. I actually watched the match. It was a very good match. Like, had it started off well. 2 in a throw in, and I think we discussed it. when the chips are down, what does Sharapova have?
That fight,
she had the fight. I just thought to myself, watching this thinking, is she gonna do it? This is Halep girl. Is she gonna come in and spoil it for everyone and say, you know what? Yeah, I'm the new kid on scene, and I'm gonna blow this out of the water. But Sharapova did not give up. Give her props. She got louder. The screeches or screams started to come more vociferous. But end of the day, she got the job done. So you've got to give her credit.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, when you called Sharapova, I thought, you know what, she has shown some good form throughout the whole tournament. And to be honest with you, I watched the game myself as well, and she was literally not giving up. But then again, this should be her second title. You know, it's one that she said is quite dear to her, one that she really wanted. So you can tell she was determined to win this one, especially with Serena being knocked out so early. I think that gives Sharapova some motivation, you know, for one of her biggest rivals to be out early. You know, everyone then tips her to be the favourite, and it's about holding up to that, you know, and she done well. But that first set was tight. I don't know, you know, I heard a few pundits saying, you know, she controlled it. I don't think so. I felt that first set was tight and it could have gone either way, and luckily for her, it went in her favour. And then that second set, well,
we finished what, 6-4 Sharapova, 7-6 Halep, and then 6-4 Sharapova again.
I mean, that is a tight final. I mean, I've seen tight finals, but that is a tight final. And
it's the first time it's gone to 3 sets
in a while, yeah.
For the French Open in the women's side for a very long time.
So like I said, Sharapova, she deserved this one definitely. In terms of her grunting, I think it was, you know, meant to put her opponent.
She's not the only person that does it.
It's true. It's not. She don't know.
Is that Iranian? It's he. But one of them makes that awful sound. I just can't understand it. They need to find a way to ban it.
It's a way of breathing, I guess. They're just going to get it out.
Leon?
Well done, Sharapova. You know, that fighting spirit, all tournaments she had gone behind. It's the first match that I think that she actually went in the lead in the first set. Probably not, but it's just, she seemed to come from behind so many times in that tournament. And, you know, she went ahead and you wondering what she do. But in the second set, it was very, very tight as it went to a tiebreaker. And, you know, Halep did well to pull through on that. It was a tight tiebreak as well. It was only a 7-5 tiebreak win. So for Sharapova to come back in the final set after leading, you know, again, fighting spirit. And Halep will learn a lot from this. Her first Grand Slam final. And hopefully for her, there'll be many more to come. But for Sharapova, I think, how many Grand Slams is that now for her? That's now what, Sharapova's 5th Grand Slam title. So she already done Grand Slam of title wins in all the Grand Slams. So for her, winning the French Open twice after winning in 2012 was obviously a great honour for her. And it'd be interesting to see how many she can go on to win, because she's she's still, what, 26 now? 25, 26?
I thought she was 27.
27.
27.
Just turned 27 April.
27. So she's got a few years at her peak left. And the women's side of joy is always so unpredictable that there'll definitely be chances for her to win more. So
now, to conclude the episode, we had what was called an epic by Eurosport, which I wasn't quite sure was an epic, but we had the male final between Nadal and DJ Kovic, as I call him, Djokovic, and that went to 4 sets. Nadal coming out, soars to cloud 9 by winning his 9th title at Roland Garros. Credit where credit's due. He won it 6-3, where he lost the first set, which he did in the semi-final. In fact, he lost the first set, and then came back 7-5, 6-2, 6-4 to win it. Yeah, you called it. I think Leon called it as well. So you both called it. I just wanted Murray to win. I knew he had no chance, but someone had to back him. So
you know what? In honesty, like when it comes to clay, that is just Nadal's surface. Every player has a surface that, you know, they prefer. But when it comes to clay, when it comes to the Roland Garros, should I say, I've never seen anyone play the way he plays on that court. He's absolutely, like, almost unbeatable. He's been to 9 finals and won every single final he's been to. So he's been in 10 French Open tournaments, gone out in the 4th round, as we found out. So he's gone out in the 4th round. That's latest he's gone out in terms of like being knocked out of the actual tournament. Apart from that,
It's the only time he's gone out.
yeah, it is actually.
It's the only time he's gone
And
out.
apart from that, he's gone on to win every single one that he's gone past the 4th round. So basically, if he gets to the final, I don't want to jinx it, but if he gets to the final, he's a shoo-in. The 9th one, he went and sat down to the guy that just beat him about 2 weeks ago on clay court, and he basically
It was a different ball game though, because
it was definitely
because Nadal knows, like Ferrer beat Nadal a couple of about 4 weeks ago on clay as well. So when it comes to this is his holy grail.
this is true.
Like, he was born to win the French Open. And the Soderling, let's be honest, when he lost to Soderling, he was injured.
Yeah.
But being Nadal, he didn't say, I'm not going to compete because I'm injured. He went in injured and lost injured. So that at least he showed his face.
Yeah.
So fully fit at the French Open, he's never lost.
He's never lost.
So we were debating earlier over lunch, who is the greatest? Is it Federer? Is it Nadal? You believe it's Nadal.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think Federer, how he plays, obviously I'm happy because if he didn't win the French Open 2 years ago, then that would have been was it even 2 years ago?
It was
2010.
2010.
So 4 years, yeah.
That would have been hanging over his head.
Yeah, it would have,
So-
because he would have never completed the set. But I think the reason why I take Nadal is Nadal's Grand Slam victories. Let's be honest, 9 of them have come from the French Open, but his Grand Slam victories have come in the era of a real golden generation of tennis players. You got your Murrays, your Djokovic. Soderling was up there for a while.
Oh,
Ferrer.
1 year.
Yeah, but he was there or thereabouts.
No, but he's been in when Federer's been around as well.
And he's been there while Federer has been around, and everyone considers Federer to be the best of the best. Federer, my main problem with Federer is when he was getting started, when he was winning and absolutely slapping the competition apart. His competition was Andy Roddick and David Nalbandian, and I'm sorry,
Not his fault.
it's not his fault, but I'm sorry, they're not quality enough. They're just not good enough. Roddick is, pardon my French, but he's dead food. Okay, he's just not good enough. All right, I tried to hold it back, but I can't. He's just not good enough. And David Nalbandian is shocking. Okay, absolutely shocking. So that's my problem with Federer. Nadal's done it during a very, very tough time period for males tennis, where pretty much the top 5 deserve every right to win a Grand Slam.
But where did Djokovic go from here, Leon? Because it's another defeat to Nadal. He had a time where it looked like he might even take over. We had that I think it was 2012 where he just won everything that year. Then then Nadal came back. And are we destined to see these two battling for the next 5 years?
I don't necessarily believe it will be as long as that. I think injuries may be the downfall of Nadal potentially, just because he's had to have so many different operations on his knees. He's had tendonitis. That is just something sometimes you just can't get rid of, tendonitis. So for me, 5 years I'm not sure, but 3 years at the very least, I think they two will be going at it. It'd be interesting to see if Murray is able to regain the form that he had in 2012, in that year when he won Wimbledon and the Olympics, obviously, and then he won US Open. So, he won US Open first, didn't he?
Yeah, he won it first.
So he won US Open first, then the Olympics. Oh no, God, messed that whole up, didn't I?
It can go again.
All right. It'll be interesting to see if Murray's able to regain the form he showed when he won the US Open, Olympics and Wimbledon. However, it just seems that Nadal and Djokovic at the moment are setting the bar for the others to attain, to look up to. I don't think at the moment that there's anyone that's anywhere near them. And for me, Nadal on clay, he will have to stop playing before someone beats him by the looks of it. His topspin is just unplayable at times. The amount of pace he's able to get on it, the amount of bounce he's able to get, the unpredictability of the court itself, it just causes everyone so many problems. It's very, very hard to have a consistent game on the clay against Nadal, whereas on the quicker courts where he's not able to get as much topspin, they've got more of a chance because of the pace they're able to generate.
I think it's just unfortunate because it really looked like Murray might be elbowing his way close to where they were. Then he had the back injury, and with tennis, getting the back injury just destroys you because it's so hard to get over. Yeah, you could say the same thing for Nadal. Having knee injury just completely ruins his game. But I don't know, because he was at such an elite level. For Murray to get back to where they were, it took him a long time to get there in the first place. Now it's just like, is he even going to get back there? I still think he can get to the final of Wimbledon, because his game, although it's favoured more towards hard court, it suits Wimbledon, and he's got the crowd behind him. He's got everything. He's a reigning champion. Hopefully, seeing these guys set the bar, he's going to say, you know what, this is my time now. Wimbledon again. Who knows?
Wimbledon this year, I can't really pick a winner. I just know that Federer won't make it to the semis.
No, the semis? Why?
I think he'll go out to the quarters. I think he'll make the quarters. But I think there's a lot of players out there that are just catching him on an off day.
Yeah, it's true. Fair enough.
Got what? 2 pairs of twins, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's got a lot of hard work at home.
You know, that's early mornings, late nights.
But no, Wimbledon, I can see another Djokovic Nadal final, probably.
You can see that every final.
Exactly.
For the next 3 years,
There
like
you
you
go.
said.
It's difficult to predict who can do it. My favourite for the tournament is probably Novak Djokovic. I'd say for Wimbledon.
If I had to go for Wimbledon, I would love to say Nadal, but over the last 2 seasons, he's kind of gone at an early stage. So I guess, despite the fact that Murray is the defending champion, I will go for Nadal on this one, actually. I think he might nick it.
Might make it what?
Yeah, I think he might nick it, yeah.
I'll go for a Djokovic Murray final if that's possible. You never know. I don't know how they're going to draw it out. But I'll go for that final. This is his best surface. Hopefully, Murray will win it. But I'll probably agree with you guys. Djokovic will probably nick it. So, we'll have to wait and see. That's a few weeks away yet. So, we'll see how that pans out. But this is the end of the show. We've discussed the tennis. We've discussed the NBA. Miami, for me, hopefully, will win game 2. And then we'll see where we go with the tennis in Wimbledon. I'd like to thank you, Leon. I'd like to thank you, Yao.
Thank you.
This has been Armchair Pundits. This is James signing off. Until the next show.
Goodbye.
Later.